Welcome to the Shabby Chic Vintage Chick page, where we're going to take this tinsel tree from Dollarama and we're going to turn it into this fabulous rag tree. Oh my gosh, it turned out so cute. You're going to love this. Now, if you've made a rag tree before, you know that they're a little difficult to do. But we've got some hacks to show you how quick and easy it can be done. So stay tuned for all this. Now, to start off with, I'm just going to cut some fabric in approximately 1/2 inch wide strips. And I did cut them about 6 inches long, but I really recommend, now that I've done this, go for 6.5, 7 inches. It's just going to be a little better. And I'm going to cut some wire because I've already stripped that tinsel all off that tree. But I noticed that the space on the actual tree, it has like these layers, let's call them. And they're a little far apart, you can see here. So I want to take the wire and just kind of wrap it in between those two layers, just so it's going to give us an extra layer of rag. So real easy, you're just going to twist your wire on there. These trees do have this little nubby bumps all the way down, so it kind of helps hold those wires in place. And this is going to work perfectly, or so I thought. Stay tuned. Okay, so now that we've got the wire done on all these different layers, we were taking our strips of fabric and you're going to fold them in half and you're going to slide it under the wire, and then you're going to take those two open ends and poke them through the hole or the loop of your piece of ribbon or rag, okay? Real quick and easy. Pull on the ends, then make it tight. It's going to be so cute. Let's take a closer look here. Okay, so I'm going under, and then I'm going to put it through the loop. And you can see like the tree kind of gets in the way, and it was really kind of annoying. Maybe I've got chubby fingers, I don't know, but it wasn't the most easiest thing to do. And I could only fit maybe 3, 4 if I really squeeze them in those spaces. And then where the actual green parts of the tree come down, it was leaving spaces, and I just wasn't happy with it. So I came up with another idea. Watch how this turns out. Okay, one more thing I've realized is I didn't like the solid green plaid. I was thinking I needed to add a little bit of contrast. So I went and grabbed, it's like a really thin drop cloth. It's made out of cotton. And I'm just going to cut some strips of that. And again, these ones are a little less than 1/2 inch, but it really doesn't matter. It's a rag tree and it's going to look fabulous no matter what. And again, I'm going to cut these to like 6 inches long. And what I decided to do is to go 2 green plaid and then go 1 of the white, and then 2 green plaid and 1 of the white. And you're going to see here, it just adds, I don't know. It just adds something that caught my eye, and I liked it much better. See, isn't that better? I think so. But if you like it better all with the one solid print, by all means, it's up to you. But I think this is looking really cool. So now we're going to move on to my hack. So here's what I figured out. Instead of running the wire around the green tree and trying to thread it onto the tree, my pieces of rag, it was much easier to grab an old piece of lumber, and I screwed 2 holes, like 2 screws into it, and I'm just going to wrap my piece of wire around these 2 screws. This is the best hack ever. Out of all the videos I've watched, I've never seen anyone do it this way, and I will never do it the other way again. So we're just going to take our ribbon and we're going to go under the wire, and just like we did on the tree, you put the 2 loose ends. Whoops, got to get a good grip on that. Okay, so we're going to slide it under the wire, and we're going to put our 2 loose ends through the hoop or the loop of the ribbon, and we're going to pull that snug and then just slide it into place. It's so much easier, guys. You are going to, like, it's time saver like you would not believe. Seriously. Okay, so let's just continue, and we're going to do one more. Now, this one's going to be done in the white, and oh my gosh, you guys, this is so easy. I just can't get over why people were doing it the other way. So let's do a white one. Again, it was 2 plaids and then a white. So again, sliding it under the wire, sticking the ends through the loop, and just pulling it tight. Now this fabric is a little heavier, so it takes a little more working too, as opposed to if you were to be using the thinner cloth that I was using, but it all works. Okay, here's a close-up view. Under the wire, through the loop, and just pull it tight. How easy is that? Guys, this is amazing. Okay, let's pick up the pace because we're going to do several of these wires because we need them all at different lengths to go up the tree. And I'll show you how I wrap them on the tree in just a second. All right, so let's unwrap it from the piece of scrap wood. And we'll bring out the tree here. Now, the first one I tried just doing it the regular way. And I tell you, I will never do it that way again. So, but I'm not going to take it apart either because that was just too much work. This one though, oh my gosh, like I flew through it in like a matter of seconds, really. I know that it was a sped up process for you, but when I'm not trying to do it slow for you guys to watch, well, just do it yourself. You're going to see it's amazing. Okay, so we got it all wrapped on there. We're just twisting it on well. I'm going to cut off some of that end because I had a little too much wire. And then you're just going to want to make sure that you pinch it so that that little piece of wire doesn't stick out. So when you're handling it, you don't get poked. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the rest of the layers. Okay, so I had a wire on there from before. I'm going to just remove that and add a new one. Well, I'm not really adding it. I'm measuring a new one on there. I'm going to snip it probably like 3 or 4 inches longer than I need, just so that I have the room to play with it and also to wrap it around those screws on my board. So again, we're just going to wrap it around the other end, and then just start doing our little ties on there again. And again, it's 2 plaid, 1 white. I keep with that same pattern all the way up to the top of the tree. Here I am just adding on the very last one. I think in total there was 6 layers. This last one, I just spun it around. It was easier. I'm going to snip that off. Now, I've grabbed 2 strips of the green plaid because there is a little bit of a nubby on the top of the tree that's left there. I'm sure the top of a tree has an actual name. I don't know what it's called. But the very point of the tree was just looking a little funny. So I grabbed some just chunks of this rag and I'm just tying it on there. Going to do a double knot to hold it on tight. And then I'm going to grab one more and do it from the other side. Let's snip it shorter. Okay, so here's the second one going on. And this is just, again, to cover up the point of the tree. Okay, so now I've taken one of those metal stars and I'm just going to hot glue it onto the top. There was a dollop of glue in the dead center. I put the tree down into it and then I kind of did up each edge with the hot glue as well. Now reaching inside of my tree, remember all those green plastic frame of the tree? I'm just going to take some of these rustic stars that I got off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. They have a little hole, so I just ran some wire through them, and I'm just wiring them onto the tree. This is just going to give us a little extra detail. Keep that rustic look, but I don't know. It just needed a little something more, so this is what I went with, and I absolutely love it. Now, we did talk about during the live while I was decorating this tree that the rusty bells, oh my gosh, they're really cute too. So you could have alternated between like rusty bells and stars, or you could have just had a star on the top and some rusty bells. One of my followers happened to mention that she would have loved to see pip berries on here. And I don't know, pip berries just wasn't my thing. It's a great idea for some people, but it wasn't what I was going for. But it did help me think of something while I was sleeping last night. And I woke up this morning thinking, yes, it needed a bit more color. So I'll show you that at the end of the video. Make sure you stay tuned. So here I am. I'm just adding some more stars. And I'm putting them all at different layers. And the great thing about them being on wires is you can kind of shift them. If they're hanging too straight, you just kind of kink that wire a tiny bit. And you can make it hang a little more over to a side or whatever. But it's looking so good, guys. Now, another thing that one of my followers told me during the live is she would have liked to have seen some fairy lights up inside. So although I don't show it in this video, I did end up adding some fairy lights just kind of through the string of them. I think it was a 7-foot string of fairy lights, and just kind of stuff them up the center. And at night, it lights up just like a light. Oh, it's so pretty because it's not like in your face bright, right? It's just kind of underneath all those layers. You can see some sheen coming through, and it's just so pretty. Okay, so we're almost done with these stars. Let's just pick up the pace here and move on to the next step. Okay, so looking back on this, I grabbed a wood round that I had because I couldn't sell it. It had a little bobo on it anyways. So I thought I would use this for the base, but if I would have cut it out of cardstock or like cardboard from a box, I could have cut it the perfect size to that tree, and I wouldn't have had to do the painting. Now, I did take this pedestal that we have on the website, or you could take a large wooden spool if you have one. Or we were also saying that a chunk of tree, like a branch of tree, like about, 3 or 4 inches, would be perfect for the bottom of this as well. But because I didn't do that and I went with the pedestal, I'm going to give it a nice coat of brown country chic paint, which is called leather bound. I'm going to stick some glue in the center. Now, this is my stick fast glue that I love, but I also want to make sure that it had another kind of glue. Just the two of them together, I felt a little more secure. Just because when I pack things away, I didn't want it to break. So I'm putting a bead of Gorilla Hot Glue around the outside edge with my Surebonder glue gun. And guys, if you haven't got a Surebonder glue gun, oh my gosh, game changer for glue guns. This thing is amazing, but I'll put the link for that in the description below too. So I'm just going to glue my pedestal on to my round, just like so. And yes, I didn't paint the center, but no one's going to see it. So why waste the paint? And now I'm going to take, again, the Gorilla Glue in my Surebonder glue gun after I just floof this up a little bit. Don't you love that word, floof? It's not really a word. I just say it. I'm aware. But I'm just getting them out of the way, all my rags, so that it doesn't fall into my glue when I'm doing this. Okay, so just a bead of that Gorilla Glue in my Surebonder glue gun. Quick and easy. And then I'm going to apply my base. I'm going to press down quickly and just make sure it's held there. But it catches pretty quick. So, there it is. Okay, one more little detail I think would be sweet, and that's just taking some twine and wrapping it around my pedestal. And I'm just going to tie a little bow there. This tree is so cute. I did think about selling it, but now I kind of think I love it. Do you do that too? Do you fall in love with your projects that you plan on selling? It happens to me all the time. And that's it. How cute and easy was that? But wait, here's that little bit of color that I wanted to show you. That thanks to one of my followers on Facebook, she had said that she thought some pip berries, but I kind of thought maybe some little red bows. So I made up tiny little red bows using, of course, my favorite bow maker, which I'm going to have to make a video of how I do my bows. Would you guys like to see that? Would you really? I know the girls on Facebook, they keep telling me, yes, let's do this. But let me know in the comments if you'd like to see how I make my cute tiny bows. Okay, so I'm just, again, with that Surebonder glue gun, I'm just gluing them on. And look how cute this thing turns out. Absolutely gorgeous. You can kind of see the lights in behind. But it's got such detail. But yet it's very rustic, primitive, very farmhouse. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to have to make more. I also have some more ideas on what to do with these tinsel trees. So make sure you subscribe down below if you want to see more of these great crafting tips. I love hanging out with you, and most of all, I love talking to you. So I hope you've left some comments for me, and I'll see you again soon.